Well, there turned out to be no point to it because Howard Lutnick basically lied throughout the deposition. No one who has come before our committee, in my view, has lied more. He was supposed to be forthcoming. He was supposed to tell us what he knew about Epstein. He was supposed to explain why he had told the American people that he never met Epstein when it came out that he had taken his family to the island in 2012. And the reality is he basically lied. He said that when he told the American people that he would never meet Epstein after 2005, he meant just himself. He wasn't talking about going and meeting him with his family. I mean, can you imagine that? That he thought it was too disgusting to meet him himself, but he was fine to have his wife and kids go with him. And then what was most shocking is I asked him, well, you said that Epstein was blackmailing people. You said that he was recording massages. And he says, I was just speculating. I said, okay, what did you base that speculation on? No, I was just speculating on a podcast. And then he says, now I don't believe it anymore. I say, why? Because he said, I now have consulted the Trump administration and I don't believe it anymore. I don't think he engaged in blackmailing. So it was a cover up. It was a lies. Donald Trump would fire him on the spot if he saw that video.
Should Howard Lutnick resign from his position?
Yes. The fact that he's not resigning is such an indictment of our nation. Here you've had the former Prince Andrew be prosecuted. You have Lord Mendelsohn in Britain be prosecuted. It's literally bringing down Norwegian royalty. You have business leaders in France being prosecuted. And here you have a sitting cabinet member who's lied about his involvement with Epstein, who is lying about whether Epstein blackmailed or not in his contact with Epstein, who is basically, if you saw the interview, if it was videotaped, you could tell he was sweating, he was mumbling, he was nervous. And he's still in the cabinet. It says that we're taking no accountability for what I call the Epstein class. People who are caught up with this person raping or abusing young girls. I don't believe that based on the evidence, but I do believe that he knew much more about what Epstein was doing and he's covering up.
Was that hearing under oath? I'm assuming the answer to that is no. And if not, is there a situation where he could be called back to testify, given that you think he was lying during this afternoon's hearing, and actually get him under oath so that there are some consequences if he decides to lie again?
Well, there were consequences. There was a transcribed interview, not under oath, but lying to Congress is a crime, even under a transcribed interview. So a future administration could certainly look to whether he perjured himself. And he's put it out there where more things come out. It very well could be evidence of perjury. We should call him again to testify to the American people because his answers are so unbelievable. Look, if he had come out and he said, I said that I never met Epstein after 2005. I was wrong. We did have this trip. I was embarrassed to disclose it. That's the truth. I didn't want to subject my family to that disclosure, and I regret it. I should have been more transparent. I would have honestly come out and said, okay, he was introspective. He understood he messed up. But for him to be lying so blatantly, saying, no, I didn't mean that my family couldn't meet Epstein. I was just talking about myself being in a room. For him to be saying that, no, I didn't mean that Epstein was blackmailing people, that Epstein was video recording people. It's just a cover up. And this is what infuriates folks. People who are powerful covering up for other rich and powerful men, and the victims, the survivors, are the ones who are treated as dispensable. Two tiers of justice in America.
Can you talk about the difference here between why Howard Lutnick was given a closed-door deposition versus a public hearing?
Yes, the Republicans are in power. They want to embarrass the Clintons, and they don't want to embarrass Howard Lutnick. This is not some law school class or any rational reason why one person was treated differently. This was the Republican majority protecting the president's cabinet member. There is absolutely zero reason this should not have been videotaped. And now I'm sure Comer thinks that was a great decision because I guarantee you, Brian, you weren't in the room, but you can ask any others who were. If the American people had seen that interview, Lutnick would have been done. By the end of today, he would have been done.
Would you be willing to commit to, if Democrats are able to retake the House in midterms this year, that not just Howard Lutnick, but any of these other folks who were involved with Epstein in any way could be called to testify publicly?
Yes, because this is a personal cause for me. I get texts from survivors every other day. This has become so personal to me to see these women go through what they have for decades, to see them treated as totally dispensable, and then to see powerful men lying, having no remorse, no introspection. I'm not going to let that stand. And I know some people say, move on, just talk about Iran, just talk about gas prices. But you can't do that when you've met these survivors, when you've seen their trauma, when you have people at airports come up to you and say, let me tell you about the trauma in my life when I was abused. So I'm 100% committed to calling Lutnick and others. And I know Robert Garcia, a great ranking member, has the same passion.
Congressman, there seems to be like an impasse here because we have 3 million files that still haven't been released. Todd Blanche has basically made it clear with Pam Bondi's departure that what went with it was any hope of having those 3 million files released. And so where do we go from here where they continue to be in violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which you co-authored with Thomas Massie, and there just doesn't seem to be any movement or urgency or desire to abide by the law, as it relates to those other 3 million files?